When you start losing fish, you better stop and pay attention because something's wrong. Hey there, it's Captain Pangle again at LiveWell Bass Fishing, coming to you with another tip of the day. I fished a little tournament up at Hood River, Oregon, and the smallmouth were in the flats, and man, we had a heck of a rattle trap bite. And Dan Skillings and I, my fishing partner, we were fourth with 18.72 pounds. And we just couldn't get that big bite. We had all of our fish were heavy threes. We caught a lot of them. You can see that thing is beat up. Now, why is it beat up? Because it catches a lot of fish. I saved this only for fishing tournaments. I have a bunch of them, but I'll pre-fish with others. But when it comes to tournaments, there's something about a lure that when you get one that catches fish, man, you want to do everything you can to not lose it. You don't want to get down in the rocks and can't get it back. You get a plug knocker and you go get it, because there's something about one lure when it has just a special action that catches fish better than the others. That's this one. That's why it's beat up so much. I've been fishing this for several years and it catches fish so well. The old rattle trap. Now, if you look at this rattle trap, you'll see I always put a red hook on the front. There's another tip for you. You got a free tip out of this today. Okay, now look at that rattle trap. You look at the hooks, you'll see that some of the red's coming off of them. Let me show you something here again. I've got a box here. I got marked hooks. These are all my treble hooks. These are my replacement hooks when I'm out fishing and my hooks get bent, or you snag or they get dull or what have you. And in this tournament, we were fishing in that 3 to 8 feet of water in gravel. There's some weeds in the area, and you crank that trap down through there and bounce through there. And I tell you, didn't get hung up a lot, but we did get hung up a few times. We got our lures out. But look at this hook. I don't know if you can see that real well. You see all the red knocked off of it? Here's another one. It's not as bad, but they're not as sharp. Let me tell you what goes on. You start fishing these through those rocks and what have you. This is the front bottom hook, and when that bait is bouncing through the gravel, where you put them through the weeds, each time you go down there, your hook point is bumping in the rocks. And even when it pulls through the weeds, they're not as sharp as they were. They're not even sticky. Okay? And we caught a lot of fish. I caught 39 smallmouth that day. And every time you catch a fish, you dull the hook just a bit more. You're getting in there with pliers to get the hooks out, and you bend them just a little bit. And then you start losing fish. When you start losing fish, you better stop and pay attention because something's wrong. And what it is usually is your hook is dull. So you want to put on new hooks. What I do is when I notice my hooks are dull, I start losing fish, immediately what I'll do is I pull out some new hooks. These are owner 36s. You can get them in red, you can get them in the black. But these are sticky hooks. And when you get these changed out and you put them on your back on your bait, and I'm talking about during the day, I'm fishing in the tournament, and then I changed hooks at least 3 times in the last tournament, and it just increases your hookup percentages. So make sure you carry some extra hooks. As you can kind of see here, I've got plenty of hooks in here. I've got other brands too, depending, but usually I throw the owner hooks. I've got different sizes, everything from a 6, 8, 4s, and 2s. And I even have some bigger ones in here too for some of my big glide baits or what have you. But make sure you pay attention to your hooks on your crankbaits, especially your bottom front hook as you're coming along, as you're bouncing through the rocks. You're digging, that front hook is coming along, it's hitting the rocks too, and your hooks will get dull. And you just tell by, I always throw a red hook on the front. 2 reasons is a lot of the fish we catch are hooked on that red hook. That red hook is usually the deepest in their mouth. And the second thing is when that red starts coming off that hook after several hours of fishing, man, you just know that if the red's coming off, you've lost some sharpness on the hook. It is dull now, and it's time to change it, if not sooner. If you start losing fish, change that hook as soon as you can. Okay, there you go. I've given you a couple good tips. You put a red hook on the bottom of your crankbaits, your traps, what have you. Jerk baits works well. And then keep an eye on the hook. If it starts losing its color or you lose fish, change out that hook. I hope that's useful for you.